afternoon, everybody. We are here at Lake Wales History Museum. Take a look at this. I got my own boarding pass here. You have to have a boarding pass to go to the museum. Also, face masks are required in this museum. Take a look at all this. Big dreams. This is what Lake Wales looked like back in 1911. Because you can see the map throughout here, railroad history. And what the pioneers did back in the early 1900s. And you see downtown Grove, they came, they stayed. It's early looked like. See all through here. Polk County, Florida, on the ridge. Sorry about the glare. This is tile flooring. So you can see all throughout here in Plant, most towns. Now 500. Occasion, what's this thing? Transit like one used by Newdigger. Town of Lake Wales. Transit is a precision instrument for measuring in the horizontal and vertical planes. Huh. So basically, I think you look through there, through that eye hole there, you can project where a plane is going to and from with that scale. That's amazing. Here's some luggage people would pack up. To get ready to take on the train with the Atlantic coastline. New York and Florida Special, Chicago and Florida Limited. East to the west. Oh wow. And here we come into the sort of the railroad part. That was more the historic part. The train of progress. Where you can see all kinds of maps, more of history. Sports and leisure, of course, sports weren't big like they are today. Back in 1914, they had quilting. They had a quilting circle on the merry-go-round. Was American Legion Post 71. Returning from World War I. Yep. Of course, Florida is known for their oranges. It's enough citrus. They have farmers. What about farmers? And you got cattle country. You got the old, of course, the cowboy hat with the saddle, got the whip, the bridle, the spurs. Wildlife, 21st century Florida ranchers included familiar names Lightsey, Ken, Zipper, Carlton, Atkinson, and Florida Seminole tribe. Families are environmental stewards of the land surrounding Lake Wales, protecting the pasture lands, water resources, and natural habitats. Of course, you have all the growing plains, and you got also all the map. Of course, you see these was Kissimmee Island. What I'm reading, like we're on the outside of Kissimmee, apparently. unique to old Florida. Oh my gosh, that's a real alligator. Oh, which, no. Of course, you got unique to old Florida. There, you got the Florida State Plant, America's Playground. Definitely the archive. You got the Passion Play, which was in the old amphitheater. Spook Hill. Is that what I think is in my Weird Florida book? I've heard about that. Where is this? The Mystery of Spook Hill. A few blocks from the heart of Lake Wales is the mystifying and fascinating phenomenon, Spook Hill. Here, a playful ghost apparently sees your car and in defiance defying the laws of gravity and your previous experience in such matters. Roll your vehicle gently backward uphill while they court unholy glee at your mystification. Why? So Spook Hill is here in Lake Wales. That I did not know. Masterpiece Gardens, notable places. So Bob Jones University in Greenville, South. There it is. There it is, Spook Hill. Located on 5th Street in Lake Wales, can be explained through the nature of physics. It is known as Gravity Hill, a place where the layout of the surrounding land produces an optical illusion, making a slight downhill slope appear to be an uphill slope. However, local legends suggest that the optical illusion of rolling backwards uphill while in your car is no illusion at all, but really the presence of Seminole Chief Kufka Wilkes, fighting an angry bull alligator that threatened his tribe along the banks of Lake Wales many years ago. Passion plays reenactment of the last days of Jesus Christ have been performed for centuries in Europe, a tradition that Joseph Muir continued in the United States when he formed a touring company to perform his own English language version. 1932. 1939, Muir opened a permanent home for his play in Spearfish in Black Hills of South Dakota. 1953, Lake Wales became the winter home for the Passion Play. Local citizens built the impressive amphitheater used for the production. The show continued in Lake Wales until 1998. Oh, so it's no longer a no, bummer. Ooh. The tower. There are 7 levels within the Boak Tower. Past that on the way in. Boak Tower Gardens. It's limited. 1929, President Calvin Coolidge, the First Lady, as well as the Florida Governor Doyle E. Carleton, and his wife Nell Ray dedicated the Singing Tower. Coolidge's speech embodied Boak's humanitarian spirit. There's some old things that they play for a living. Of course, you got that old alligator here. Honestly, that thing is massive. Of course, we got this cross section of Florida history. You got the big quilts up there. This is the Seminole tribe. Seminole, of course, we think Florida State. Seminoles, that's the name where it came from. Because the Seminoles lived in Florida, Seminole Indians. We took it over from them as English settlers. We took over their land. It was their land first. We took it over, and now they're going, and now very few Seminole Indians remain. This is the Iron Mountain. And this is what happened as we split in between the two. You can see we are dead center in the state, the highest peak on the Florida Peninsula. So you can see a graph here, so don't trip over this gator. Cross section for scrubs. That one. Of course, you have the history. Roots, you got prehistoric technology of the Florida Indians. Got the tomahawk there. Got an oar, paddle, canoe paddle. You got the Athlon dart, whatever that is. Bow and arrow, of course. A bow and quiver, that's what it's called. Quiver is that little long pole, or is it the string? Let me know in the comments. You're big on Indian history. Of course, you got the bow and antler. So there are a lot of like weapons. This is the Palestinian period, 12,000 to 9,500 years ago. And of course, you got the arrowheads. Up here, you got different types of quilts and paintings, which I like. I'll look through. I'm just going to kind of look through all the different patterns and designs of these quilts. All the way through here. And of course, this painting is amazing. This is Lake Wales football. Looks like they were orange and blue, or black. Orange and black with white. Lake Wales football. And you got the bagpipes from Scotland. Plaid. It's just a truck. You would know if it was a train. Really neat painting. Love the design. You see, there's the Railroad Museum. Lake Wales History Museum, really. Of course, you got different drawings, different quilts. This one was made for flower quilt. And then the clock tower. It was an oil painting on campus, which I could probably do that if I had the time to do something like this, but I don't. Of course, here you got, looks like the presidents of Scotland? Scotland have a president? What she got? Of course, as we go out here. Oh, there you go. Go out here. See the train as we enter the caboose. The Atlantic Coastline logo sits on the track there. 1926 Seaboard Airline Railroad caboose once traveled on the railroad tracks beside the museum. First used in 1830s. Purpose was to house the train crews during trips. Cast iron stove for both warm to cook bunks for sleeping, a table for eating, closets for storage, and a toilet. The train would include a brakeman and a flagman who would be stationed on the caboose. Brakeman would help turn the brakes on the train when the engineer signaled when the train was going to stop. The flagman would light the lanterns used to signal flags to prevent other trains from running into the back of the caboose. I knew that part. And then Georgia and Clintfield, West Point route. And then you got the Seaboard Coastline Railroad. Of course you got rails. That's a rail. Not rail ties. Part of the rail for where the train runs on. Old link and pin coupling. Oh wow. Good night, that's heavy. Of course they are made out of iron. All these rail spikes from different railroads. That's kind of cool. Is that the... No, it wouldn't be the Illinois Central. Grand Trunk Western. Atlantic Coastline. Some of these you can't even read anymore. They're faded out, scratched out. The Southern Line Railroad. The Southern Railroad was donated to the museum. The spikes are used to nail the wooden train ties to the rails. Many collectors would walk along old, collect spikes, which they will then write the name of the rail line on. That's kind of cool. So that's where they got them all from. So that's where all the rail spikes came from, was different people would come here when they found different rail spikes along abandoned tracks or even current tracks, and would go through and bring them here to set inside in the caboose. Pretty cool. Also, they got ourselves a big fire engine. Got the E3 fire engine from Lake Wales. Just a one that just sits here. I want to take a look at the engine here, because this is abandoned. It's not abandoned, it's just a museum decoration. Of course, you can see here, see the engine. You can see writing on here. People will write their names that have been here, like there's Sam, Harlow, Mason, Jack, who was 5, it looks like. And some inappropriate things that don't need to be said, but here. See here, on top of the, behind me. Ooh, there we go. There. See above me here, got engine. I don't even know the name of the number. They don't have a number on it. Got ourselves a diesel engine here behind me. And you can see down that way, you go down towards the tracks. We're not going to walk along the tracks because it's illegal, for one. And probably frowned upon, most likely. But just toured the museum, looked at a lot of different, mostly history of the railroad back here in Lake Wales. And it is fascinating. And let's hope I don't slip and fall and kill myself. Ugh. All right. So, and it's very amazing that they have this, and it's just something that people come and look at. And it's very, I'm outside, so I can take this off. Very interesting, I should say, and very fun. We just taking the day off of Disney excursions and just doing a little bit of history of different small towns in the back roads of Florida. Here, there's also another plaque. Oh my gosh, it's a mess. There we go. 1926 rail car dedicated in memory of Michael W. Cruz, 1941 to 1991. Lake Wales Depot Commission charter member, Historic Lake Wales Society Incorporation, charter member, patron of the arts and education, civic leader, judge, attorney, musician, and he was a lieutenant in the U.S. Army. Born in 1941, died on October 26th of 1991. So a year before I was born. In there, yeah. Can't get in there later. So, but we're gonna go ahead. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. As we look down the rail tracks. I don't know if these their trains run through here or not. I'm not sure. I think so. I'm wanting to say yes, but I don't want to be second guessing. But almost time to go to our next destination on another spin adventure. Won't you join me as we travel to Celebration, Kissimmee, Florida, right outside of Orlando. Come on, let's go explore some more rails.